Okay. So this is about how creating exponential function like this. See, f of x is, so the main unknowns are what is a and what is b. So a is always the beginning when x input is 0, right? Okay, got it? What is a stands for? In the beginning where the y-intercept, where the graph crosses, the red graph crosses the y-axis, agree? So that's the A. So in the beginning, now this is about application. Why the heck we, oh, sorry. Why the heck we are learning all this kind of thing, right? So how on earth this concept of exponential function can relate to the real life? And if you see the question they have put is, a patient in the hospital is given drugs, okay, or medicine, okay? Now, when the medicine is given, injected, so that how much milligrams of medicine in the blood stays since it was injected? So how many hours have passed? So if it is like, so the y-axis stands for how much medicine remaining in the blood after so many hours. Make sense? So this input is how many hours have passed since the medicine is injected, and the y-axis is in milligrams how much medicine is staying. Is that okay? Yes or no, HR? Agree? Did you hear what I said? So input, output. So the input is the x-axis, how many hours have passed, and the output is how much medicine stays in the blood. Is that okay? Now, the information they gave us is, what was in the beginning, how much medicine was there? Can somebody quickly answer this? You look at it. Anyone, quick.
270 milligrams.
Yes, 270. So when I want to work this out, right? I want to solve that, but at the same time, just to make sure what are the information that we know. What do we know here? So in the right formula is f of x. Can you write this formula? Let me write it again. Now instead of f of x, of course it is a times b raised to x. Now this formula works only from when x increases. What is x? In the beginning, then 1 hour passed, 2 hour passed, 3, 4, and so on. That formula works only when you're thinking of increase, or when x increases by, or h. In this example, it is going to be h. And you will see at the end question they are asking, hey, write exponential function m. Do you see this m here? Instead of f, we are going to use m. So remember, this is because of the chart it shows you, but I'm going to write how many milligrams of medicine stays in the blood after 8 hours. Do you see that part? So get that, what does this M stands for? So how many milligrams in the blood? What does H stands for? How many hours have passed since the patient, the drugs is injected? Is that okay, Leah? Yeah. Now, this part is going to be the end part. Here, it's going to be this part. So I'm going to write here, the D will be M of H equals, and I'll keep it blank here right now, just because there are two parts, A times. Let's go with the first question. So the first question is, by what factor? And when I say what factor, what multiplies, right? Did the medicine decrease? First part is, the first thing is, let's do this up. We don't want this now. In the first hour, so I'm going to put a kind of divide this into, this is C, right? So I'm going to divide this into, so I have, since I have 4 questions, so that's the first one, second one, third one, and the fourth one. Is that okay, Marcel? Haley, are you with me? Daniel, HR, Carol? Tatiana, new student, I forget your name. Okay. My friend, nice to see you. Headline. Okay, watch this. Let's do quickly. Now, at this point, can everybody draw a dotted line? So let's see what is input and output there. I just go, it's on the table right there. Oh, there, Barcelona, because she's next. Yeah, she's always next. Just give her. I'm sorry, Barcelona. Just kidding. Okay, so question is, let me take this off, and from here to here, can somebody tell me what factor it is? Now, in the beginning, how much was that? How much medicine was in the blood? 270. Agree? Yes or no? And how much is the medicine now after 1.5 hours? 80. So how did you get from 270 to 80? What happened? How do we figure out? So it's always better than also to make a table. Can you guys always do this table as fast as possible? So just for visuals, this table is not even needed actually. But I like to show to get the input output. So this is number of hours that are passed, and this is M when the how much medicine is remaining. This is 0 because they give you half, sometimes 0.5, or they may give you half, right? Or instead of 0.5, it will be half like this. So makes the same sense. Is that okay? Then this is 1, then there is 1.5, then there is 2, 2.5, and then 3. Okay, that's it. So in the beginning it is 270. And then after 1.5 hours, so the input, so there you go. So when the x increases by, so this increases by 1.5. See, this x jumps, so it's like, it's not from 0 to 1, it's from 0 to 1.5. And that's 80. So the question is, if I want to know the first factor, so how did we get from 272? So what did multiply to 270? So what did we multiply to this one? So what is that growth? I'm putting a box, so what should I put in the box? At this time I want someone to help me. So if I ask you a question, look at this. What multiplies 2 to get 6? And I remember showing this once, right? What multiplies 2 to get 6? We all know what is the answer? 3. Just imagine we did not know it was 3. A child does not know 4th grade, okay? Maybe 3rd grade, they don't know. Hey, what multiplies to get 6? How would you show them? Is there another strategy we can use? Barcelo, is there another strategy? Of course, common sense, we already know the answer. 2 times 3 is 6, right? But is there another way to do this? Can somebody quickly tell? Come on, guys. Divide. So if you don't know, okay, we just do 6 divide by 2, which is 6 divided by 2 is 3. So another strategy we use is this divide. If you don't know what multiplies, just divide the other. So can we extend this idea right here? What multiplies to 270 to get 80? We don't know. If we don't know, what do we do? Divide. What do we divide? So you divide 270 by 80 divided by, got it? You know, that's like a little confusing, right? So if you don't know what multiplies, we don't know, question mark, oh, I don't know. So what do? Divide 80 and 270. So write down. This first part is the factor is, write down. Everybody copy? Am I making sense, you guys? Nobody say yes or no? Can I have one student at least say making sense? HOD say that, okay. So just divide 80 divide by 270, and you can see that the 0 and 0. What that means is you can divide the numerator by 10 and denominator. It's like reducing to the lowest possible form, and you say 8 divided by 27. Ha ha ha. So you got the first answer correct. They did not ask you anything else. I would keep it 8 divided by 27. No other number divides 8 and 27. And 8 and 27 are beautiful numbers. If you remember, what is the meaning of 8? It's like 2, 2, 2. It is 2 raised to 3. What is the meaning of 27? It is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 3 cubed. So we are going to use that idea in the next question. Is that okay? So right now, let's just keep it. Or some of you will say, Rebello, why can't I use calculator? Yes, you can use calculator and see what is the in decimal, whatever it is. Is that okay? Next question, second question. Half hour. Who would like to? Now, so that means this is 8 by 27. Can I write down 8 by 27. Now we want to know how much, what multiplies to, so what factor should we think of here? Okay, I'm gonna give you a few seconds to think. What do you think? You know from here to here, when there is a jump of 1.5, so you're jumping, you're going 1, 2, and 3. So when there is a jump of 3, it's 8 over 27, right? But if you want to know only 0 to half, what multiplies? And that's I've been trying to show on those videos that I made. I was trying to show this part. So I felt like I did not like the scores for the test. I mean the way what happened. So I thought of going through this, walk through this again one more time, and to get that. Hey, what's that? So how many pieces make up until 1.5? How many pieces?
3.
When I say, yeah, 3, right? 3 pieces. And just imagine we don't know, so there are 3 pieces, 1, 2, and 3. So this one, this is also like it's not from 0 to 1, it's something like a fractional increment is shown from 0 to 1.5. But we need to know 3 pieces make up that. So how do we find this piece? And I'll call this maybe B, okay? I want to know how much that part, what multiply. And you can see B, B, and B. So if you don't know, let's better put B, uppercase B. Why did I not put lowercase b? Because in the lowercase b, the formula is this one. See, this b is used only for lowercase b, from 0 to 1, 1 to 2. That's what we are using that b for. Is that okay, Tatiana? So I'm going to use this and say, hey, there are 3 of them. So if there are 3 of them, so there are 3. So 3b. So I will write b raised to the power gives 8 divided by, because see, this 3b, 1, 2, 3, they multiply to give this 8 by 27. Because this is from 0 to 1.5, it is 8 by 27. So what number multiply 3 times gives that 8 by 27? Make sense? Because from here to here is, you're multiplying 8 by 27. So B is this. Is that okay? So I hope that makes sense. Once you have B cubed, so how do we use our B, the definition? The B becomes equals cube root of 8 over 27. Can you write, everybody write this there? So it is hard, right? Now suddenly radical, cube root. So this is because of the definition. Is that okay? So this is cube root, and cube root of this, what does this actually means is B is cube root, now watch this. They gave you on purpose this number 8 and 27 because I can separate this to the numerator and do the separate for the denominator. And the answer, what is the answer now? What number multiply itself 3 times to give 8? Which number multiply itself 3 times to give you 2, right? So this answer, the numerator is 2 and the denominator is 3. Make sense? So it is cube root of 8 and cube root of 27. Now, we are confused because we forget what is that cube root and all that. So just remember this, we have done this in the unit 3 that, hey, if you have, you can also separate and write down, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. There you go, already right there. So the question was, what multiplies here is nothing but 2 over 3, see this part? So every half hour is 2/3, make sense? And you can clearly see that, hey, 2/3 multiplied by 2/3 multiplied by 2/3 is 8 over 27. Is that okay? Makes sense? Everything is coming, we are trying to, it's like a puzzle we are putting together. Now comes almost there, okay? Once you know this B, what is the factor in the first hour? It's like 1 hour, what is the factor? That means, it means I'm going to use a green marker. I hope I have a green marker somewhere here. Okay, watch this. Now, the main thing is that this is the most important part. Watch this. From 0 to 1 is the main, because the lowercase b is based on this. So from 0 to 1, how many halves are there? From 0 to 1, how many halves are there? Can you see that? 2 half hours. That means what do we multiply now? In order to multiply from here to here, see, what multiplies? Now I'll take off this b, just confusing now. I was talking to other teachers too, and they say, yeah, this thing is making students getting confused, okay? So I thought of spending this time to show exactly how. So if this is 2/3, and then again, so this again 2/3, how many 2/3? So you are multiplying, hey, 2/3 factor is for half hour. But then 0 to 1, you have 2 half hours, correct? Nobody is watching. This is the last part, I'm almost done. So from 0 to 1, you have 2 half hours, 1 half hour, another half hour, correct? 30 minutes. That means you have 2/3 and another 2/3. So you have to multiply 2/3 twice. Nobody is saying yes. Make sense? So 2/3 is from 0 to half. But our question is from 0 to 1 hour. So if it is 0 to 1 hour, how many times should I multiply 2/3? 2/3, 2/3. It's like 2/3 of 270. Of course, they are not asking us what is the milligram of medicine in the blood. They just want to know, hey, what multiplies to get what factor for 1 hour? So it is 2/3 times 2/3. So when you are answering this question, so this means from 0, so x is from 0 to 1 hour, the factor is, and I will call it b now, because that's what we want. In the formula is lowercase b. And this b is this 2/3 multiplied by 2/3. Agree? And I heard Marcus also. Marcus, did you say 4/9? Anybody? You said you already knew the answer. I know I'm little going slow. It's because I really want many of you to get that, okay? At the end of the day, as you leave the class, I want you to feel, now I get it. Okay, so let's finish it off. So this answer is 4, 9. 2 times 2 is 4 and 3 times 3 is 9. Done? And now comes your formula, the last part. So last part is creating exponential function. So my question in the beginning, I said, why the heck we even have to learn this? And you can see how nicely we can model this real world application into exponential function and say, hey, amount of milligrams of medicine staying in the blood after 8 hours passed is in the beginning. What was the beginning? We already said that 270. 270 was the beginning. And the B is right here. So this is the B, 4/9. And then raised to the, how many, I put instead of X, I'm going to put, I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. It should be H. So H. So this is a beautiful exponential function. Right, Liana? And I don't want to know the answer. See, the goal is, can you guys create and model a real application into exponential function? And that's how you get there. Of course, now, no matter how many hours have passed, somebody could just tell me, hey, what if it was 7 and let's see 3/4 like this. So what does that mean, 7 3/4? Is 7 hours and 3/4. Can you see the 7 hours and 3/4? So basically 7 3/4 is same as 7 times 4 is 28 plus 3 is 31 divided by 4. So that's like your H. That's all it is. So on your calculator, you just put this as whatever that 31 divided by 4, and you're done. Put it in the calculator. Make sense? So H stands for how many hours have passed since the medicine is injected. Is that okay? Question: did you guys get this part? How many of you got this? What I was saying? Show the thumbs up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Very good. Appreciate that. Some of you got confused. So what I'll do is already recorded, put it on the YouTube channel there. So for your perusal, I'll put it on the Google Classroom link, and you can always watch the same thing again. And I'm sure this will help many students how to go about. Always the goal, trick. I'm ending. Whatever I was talking, blah blah blah, I'm ending. They could have given, instead of this is 0 to 270, the same number could have been given here maybe, this part. 0 to some 3, whatever, 200 let's say. And this time it is between, it's like there are 2 half hours. Can you see this? So they could have asked, hey, how much is every half hour here? And then you can think how much is for 1 hour also. Because from 0 to 1 there are 2 halves. So always you do the trick. Find out what is the smallest interval they gave you, and then see how many make up for 1. You multiply twice like this. Is that okay? So, or they could have given this instead of, look at this, instead of, this is 1, and I can break it into, this is like 1 1/2, this is 1 1/4, this is 1 3/4, and they could have given this way also. This is half, see? From 0 to 1 1/2. And that way also you can do the same thing, figuring out how many of those pieces make up. Every quarter maybe, quarter of an hour, 1/4 of an hour. So you will see from here to here how many quarters are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4th root, instead of cube root, it becomes 4th root. And that's how we're going to do that. Okay, with this I want to end this. Thank you so much. Now, open your laptop. And I'm gonna tell you to go to the Google Classroom, Dasbo's Activity Lesson 7.